The cerebral cortex is the outer layer of the brain responsible for the most thoughtful mental functions like thinking and planning. The brainstem in purple is the oldest part and central core of the brain. It is responsible for automatic survival. The medulla in red controls heartbeat and breathing. The pons in blue plays a key role in sleeping. The reticular formation is a network that is also responsible for the sleep-wake cycle.
The cerebellum in white coordinates voluntary movements, including walking and keeping your balance. The thalamus, the black Play-Doh, is a sensory control center that receives, organizes, and relays sensory details, except for smell, to the cortex. The basal ganglia, the yellow-orangish Play-Doh, works with the cerebellum and the cerebral cortex to control voluntary movements. It also plays a role in already learned skills that require little effort. The hypothalamus, the tiny little turquoise Play-Doh, controls body temperature, heart rate, appetite drives, and controls the pituitary gland. It also determines biological rhythms. The amygdala, the little tiny yellow-orangish Play-Doh that is parallel to the hypothalamus, influences aggression and fear. It also coordinates the fight or flight response.
The hippocampus, which is the yellow Play-Doh, is involved in storage of long-term memories. The corpus callosum connects the left and right brain hemispheres. The frontal lobes are involved in personality, intelligence, and voluntary control of muscles. The motor cortex at the back of the frontal lobes controls voluntary movements. The parietal lobes process sensory information such as taste, temperature, and touch. It is also involved in recognizing physical space and potential and motor control. The somatosensory cortex at the front of the parietal lobes interprets information on touch, temperature, pain, pressure, and allows us to interpret the size, shape, and texture of what we touch. The occipital lobes process information about visual stimuli such as color, shape, and motion.
The temporal lobes, the yellow Play-Doh, are involved in learning, language processing, memory, and recognizing faces. In the temporal lobes, Wernicke's area is involved in language comprehension, meanwhile Broca's area in the frontal lobes is responsible for movement of muscles for speech.